What's going on, Pokemon trainers? Welcome to episode 85 of Gotta Watch 'Em All, the podcast bringing together trainers from every corner of Pokemon fandom before watching along with an episode of Pokemon the series, starting all the way back at episode 1. But today we're going to be watching episode 85, The Crystal Onix. Today is Sunday, February 23rd, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Ken Pescator, joined by my co-host, Adam Tuttle. Adam, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We're going to see a special variant of Onix today, and I am so pumped to talk about it.
You know, this is funny because I remember when we first saw the not shiny, sort of shiny Butterfree, like back in the day. You know what I mean? It was like, you're a variant, but you're not a shiny, and it's like the same kind of thing with Onix. You know, it's like, you're crystal, but it's not shiny. Like, what are you? It's just special. But we'll get there at the end of the show. We've got a lot of stuff to cover today, so I'm going to run through what we're going to expect on today's show. Pokemon Home has been out for a little bit now, and we'll talk about some of the cool stuff that has been found in that. A lot of people are having a great time with it. I haven't used it too much yet, but we'll kind of break down what we know so far. Nintendo has gotten very serious about the Sword and Shield leak that happened prior to the game's launch, and it's amazing how slow some of this legal stuff takes to kind of take action, because the leak happened, if you remember, probably in September or so, something like that, where images of Sword and Shield were released early.
Yeah, it just started coming.
Yeah, they just started, and they finally, took action on that. So we'll break down what happened there and explain, statements from both sides, it's pretty cool to see, both sides make pretty strong statements. You can get a free Ball Guy shirt for your Sword and Shield avatar if you act fast, depending on when you hear this episode, because you have to do it very soon from the day that we're recording this. And Pokemon Go PvP gaining a lot of momentum, and we'll kind of break out how this will play and could play into the landscape of Pokemon Worlds going forward, and I'm hoping that we see that. And speaking of competitive Pokemon, you need to see the Juniors VGC Finals from the Oceania International Championships. It's the cutest thing in the world, and we'll get there. We'll just talk about it for a minute because it was like the greatest thing ever, and really, really exciting. We have Pokemon Masters news. We've kind of been mentioning Pokemon Masters a lot lately. They've held true to their word of giving this game constant updates and doing stuff to make this game better. And they're coming through. DNA's doing a good job, so we'll break out what you can expect there. Twilight Wings Episode 2 has been released. We'll break down that stuff. And then finally, we'll do our watch-along with Pokemon the Series Episode 85, The Crystal Onix. A lot of stuff to talk about today, Adam.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
Dude, I'm excited. I'm always excited.
That's unexpected.
Oh, jeez. All right, Pokemon Home. It's been out for a couple weeks now. Full disclosure, I haven't used Home that much. I have it downloaded, of course, on the Switch, on the phone. I've gone through the menus. I've looked through it. I just haven't really done much yet. I'm expecting to use this and start paying for the service once the Pokemon Go integration is released, which we still don't have a date for. But there's some interesting stuff that you'll notice if you haven't downloaded it yet. You might as well do it. It's free to download. There is a lot, it's a very capable app, even with the free plan. But there's two exciting things you'll notice kind of right out of the gate. And Adam, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at this. So
I've basically just played the beginning of it. I got a Squirtle, and I have a Pikachu and a Squirtle in there, and I have yet to put it on my Switch yet.
All right, but you've seen the new iteration of Oak, Grand Oak, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this was the first thing that really took people by surprise, was this funky iteration of Professor Oak. He's called Grand Oak. He's got these crazy glasses on. He reminded me of Riff Raff, which is this ridiculous over-the-top rapper guy. It's just absolutely hilarious looking. And the other character that we meet is Pokeboy, which is kind of this little baby version of the Pokeball guy. It's really cute. It's just this little floating Pokeball with, characterization on it. So we get to meet these two new characters. Very exciting to see. And I've been relying on the It's Super Effective Twitter feed to kind of give me updates, because SBJ is all about Pokemon Home, and he's done an amazing job. He's gotten into making infographics, and they've been exceptionally helpful for the layman like me when it comes to this stuff. So it's been really cool to see. So I'm going to refer to a couple tweets that he had put out, and I'll link to his Twitter. Make sure you give those guys a follow, because there's a lot of good information going on over there for Pokemon Home and other stuff, of course. But some of the really exciting things that you could do in Home that weren't originally in the initial release, and I actually saw a reversal. Pokemon Go YouTuber who's moved over to the VGC get really excited about this. You can mass release Pokemon, and you can move boxes of Pokemon at a time. So let's say you're doing Masuda method and you're breeding tons and tons of Pokemon, and you have like just a ton of level 1 Pokemon that really mean nothing to you, and you want to get rid of them. If you do it in Sword and Shield, you're going one by one and releasing them. It's brutal. But in Home, you can highlight up to 100 of them with the mass highlight feature and release them all at the same time. Very, very,
you're
getting
like a Pokemon Go feel of, discarding them.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of Pokemon Go influence in some of the interface here. You can also like favorite Pokemon, which came right out of Pokemon Go. So lots of cool stuff there. If you're a Pokemon Go player, you'll feel at home when it comes to some of the menu stuff and some of the ways you can interact with your storage. But like Adam was saying, you just for signing up for the free version and registering, you get some free Pokemon. You'll get a free Pikachu. You can get a Pichu. There's a lot of cool stuff you can get just for getting going, and there's a couple different ways you can unlock Pokemon just by using the tool. You can get a Pichu if you complete one challenge. You can unlock Rotom when you do a GTS trade. You get an Eevee when you complete your first Wonder trade. So there's a lot of ways that you can just unlock Pokemon within the app. So it's kind of like they're using it as their own way to distribute stuff as well, which is exciting. And then down the road, if you were to complete your full national Pokedex, like actually having every single Pokemon registered in Home at the same time, 890 different Pokemon, you can get Magearna, which is really exciting, and the colorway is like beautiful. It looks really, really cool. It's super effective. Pokemon, PKMNcast.com, they put together a really nice infographic kind of showing you what you can unlock and how to get it. One of the things that we kind of thought was coming, and it's come in force here, is hacked Pokemon. So, the Wonder Trade thing is already a bit crazy. If you're a competitive player, I would stay away from that because, you can get a Pokemon on a trade that you think is legit and bring it to a tournament and end up, not being able to use it if it's found to be, shady or something like that. Just I wouldn't trust it. But I mean, like Shiny Victini, which was never released to date, people were putting that trading that in the GTS and all that, so or in Wonder Trade. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on over there, so just be aware of that.
See, that's what I'm always afraid of.
Yeah, it's like there's no way to know,
especially like the surprise trades.
Well, that's how the Wonder Trade works. You don't know. It's just like, what am I going to get today? And it's like, oh, a hacked Pokemon. It's like, you never know. Now, Adam, you probably have experience with the TCGO Marketplace, how you can say like, hey, I've got this to trade. This is what I'm willing to trade for, right? So, there's like that complete trading marketplace. So the GTS works like that, where you can take a Pokemon, put it up for trade in the market and say, I'm willing to trade this if you give me this. And it's exactly what you expect. It's like, hey, I would like that Zamazenta, and I'm willing to trade a Weedle. There's a lot of ridiculous stuff that's going on in there.
I'll take that trade. So worth it. Especially if that Weedle has, like, string shot. Oof. Clutch.
But that's how, like, the TCG marketplace is sometimes, too, where it's like, I'll give you this Cynthia, but you got to give me 70 packs or something crazy.
Yeah, it's more skewed with the packs. Or it's like ridiculous trades. Like people will just be like, I've got 4 Weedles and I will trade for your 4 Zacian, 4 Zacian V. Like, I don't think that's a legit trade.
Yeah. So, but there is ways to find good trades there, and there is ways that you can trade with your friends by doing some obscure stuff and saying, hey, I'll give you this specific level Pokemon for this specific level Pokemon, and then you could link with your friends. So, there's a couple different ways you can do your trades. There's the room trades, the friend trades. It's very cumbersome, like to no one's surprise when it comes to Nintendo and how they function with multiplayer in really any capacity. It's always cumbersome and bulky. hopefully this stuff will kind of get cleaned up as we go into the future. But because of Pokemon Home and being able to import Pokemon up into Sword and Shield, there's been updates. You can get a lot more Pokemon into Galar now, like the Bulbasaur line, the Squirtle line, the hat Pikachus that you could have gotten, like the different regional hats. When they did that promotion, you could bring those up. Mewtwo, the Swords of Justice. There's just like a bunch of Pokemon. Again, PKMNcast.com put together a fantastic infographic showing all the new Pokemon that are available in Galar thanks to Home. This was updated like as of last week, so pretty current stuff. And stay in touch with them so you can see all the updates, because SPJ has always been on top of it. And while we're talking about new Pokemon here too, there was a new mythical Pokemon that was teased in Korokoro, where you could kind of see like half of it. And then the official Pokemon Twitter actually tweeted a full silhouette of it. And I believe that it's going to be announced this week, but it's this crazy beast-looking thing with giant claws. Like it, I love when they do these silhouettes, because you get to speculate so hard on this, but I don't know. It looks like an aggressive, monstery kind of Pokemon. Like it'd be funny if the colorways are like really vibrant and it has like a happy face, but it looks pretty daunting. Like, what do you think of this silhouette?
No, I want to say it looks like it's an electric type, but
electric, you think?
Well, they do. I don't know. I look at the feet. It's probably steel.
I don't know. I look at the feet and I almost think water, but then it has like these hair maybe or ears that kind of look like it could be flying, but there's no wings. It has a tail. It's going to be exciting. It has these giant claws. Like people were calling it Wolverine and stuff. It's just it's very funky, but I think that'll be released this week.
It's Sabertooth.
Yeah. It's definitely an aggressive looking Pokemon. Like you don't want to mess with it. You don't want to run into it in the back alley for sure.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, we're getting something new.
Right.
And I'm surprised it hasn't been leaked.
With Sun and Moon too. Like post release of the game, they were still releasing new Pokemon, which is exciting. Oh, and following up on Adam's concern from last episode with Pokemon Home, as far as like the free and premium plans. So with the free plan, you could store up to 30 Pokemon. With the premium plan, you could store up to 6,000. And Adam had asked a question like, what if I pay for premium, I put in 31 Pokemon, and then I let my subscription lapse, and then I go back down to the free plan. What happens to all those extra Pokemon? So apparently what they say is you'll still have access to the first 30 Pokemon you put in. Anything beyond that you won't have access to. However, it's not going to be where with Bank, if you let it lapse, you had like this grace period, and if you let the grace period lapse, you were, up a creek. They're actually saying at any time, if you re-up your subscription to premium, you'll regain access to that. So it seems like there's no grace period. Like they're just going to hold those Pokemon in the cloud for you forever. So if you want to roll the dice and say, hey, I'll just put all my Pokemon in there, and then when I want to retrieve them when the next generation game comes out, I'll pay for a subscription to Home then. Like maybe they'll change the rules by then. I don't know.
Wow.
But but seems
that's cool.
Yeah, but they still, I don't know. I just don't trust it.
I think they're just putting everything behind a paywall. Just like,
of course.
and just like if you pay for premium, the Switch flips where you can add stuff, and if you stop paying for it, the Switch gets flipped off, so you don't have access to those extra ones that you deposited.
Yeah, but you can always regain access just by paying again.
Right, and they'll flip the Switch for you.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
But it's exciting. I'm happy that this came out. I just think that it's going to take off. And updates have been coming. Like they've already updated the app in iOS a couple times, but I believe that once the Go integration comes out, we're really going to start to see things motor along, because the Go fans are many and they are loud. So we'll see what happens when that integration comes out. But I'm looking forward to that, because I've got 2,500 Pokemon storage, 2,500 Pokemon storage in Go, and when I get rid of all my just crap, I'm still at 2,000 Pokemon. So I have all these legendaries and
that's me.
stuff that
but it's more close
I just don't
to
want to hold them anymore in Go. I have no purpose for them, but I don't want to just transfer them. So if I put them in Home, at least I know they're somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's like I really want that integration so I can clean up my Pokemon Go storage. Okay, let's move on to this lawsuit thing, and this was pretty wild.
This doesn't sound fun.
I had forgot about all of this up until these articles came out. So the article we're going to talk about first here is from Newsweek.com, and this was picked up by most media outlets because it was, in my opinion, a little off character for Nintendo the way they handled it. Not necessarily that they shouldn't have handled it the way they did, but they were very vocal about how they handled it. So they released a pretty long statement, and I'll read it verbatim here. It said, quote, "In early November, Nintendo identified a number of photographs taken from a gameplay that revealed multiple new and unannounced Pokemon from Pokemon Sword and Shield. These photographs have been posted online, and Nintendo, together with the Pokémon Company, quickly identified the person responsible for these leaks and took immediate action. These Pokemon were leaked by a reviewer from the Portuguese website F Nintendo, who had received a copy of the game for review purposes. Both he and F Nintendo failed to handle confidential material, resulting in a clear breach of the confidentiality agreement between Nintendo and the media outlet. As a result, Nintendo will no longer work with F Nintendo. Nintendo will always protect its intellectual property and brands. Leaks hurt not just Nintendo, but thousands of employees who work hard to bring games to the market, and the millions of fans around the world who look forward to the news and surprises. To surprise and delight players through new experiences, a shared passion for Nintendo and the Pokémon Company, we will pursue all avenues to preserve surprises for players of future Pokémon titles." End quote. So they call the leaker out in the statement.
Wow.
I don't think they've ever done that before. And, doing some research here, they had a 11-year relationship with F Nintendo. And, F Nintendo, it's a Portuguese site. It's not big by any means in comparison to the global market. The Portuguese market for it is relatively small. But still, an 11-year relationship thrown down the tubes because someone got a copy of the game and leaked photos of Pokemon. And, I did a good job prior to the release of Sword and Shield of staying away from this stuff. But, everyone was talking about it. Everybody knew the legendaries. Everybody knew about, Zamazenta and Zacian. They knew about, they knew it. They knew everything. So it really took away from a lot. And that's irreparable damage. You can't get that back. It's not like a monetary damage. The worst part was that
Instagram was flooded. So it's like, I'm just scrolling. It's like, what? I didn't need to see that.
It was so hard to stay away. I was blocking, different terms on Twitter to kind of stay away from it, like muting, leak, all that kind of stuff, because I didn't want to see any of it. And it's a real shame for the people that worked at Nintendo trying to hold this stuff back. And, it's almost impossible in this market, in this day and age now, to keep this stuff under wraps. But
yeah, I'm surprised that Pokemon that's being revealed on Thursday, right, the 27th,
hasn't been leaked. Right?
Yeah, it hasn't been leaked.
Even, especially since they've given us the silhouette. But F Nintendo, did make a statement in response to this, and I believe they handled it very, very well and with class. And this is their statement. It says, quote, "We recognize that it's unacceptable to violate the embargo guidelines and that we have not handled these materials for analysis with due care. We fully respect Nintendo's decision to cancel the confidentiality agreement between our companies as a result of this breach of trust and accept that we will no longer receive Nintendo products or be invited to participate in Nintendo events." End quote. It's like, whoa. This is probably gonna ultimately lead to this site being closed down. Because when you're a site that operates like this and you're a leading news outlet that covers Nintendo specifically, and you're then getting the news cycle at the same time as the public, you're just not going to be able to remain relevant, because you're not going to be able to do day and date releases. You're not going to be able to be at those events to play the games and get review copies. So it's, you're going to get Sword and Shield the same day that a consumer would. So you're going to be racing to complete the game the same way a consumer would. I'd imagine that the days are numbered for F Nintendo, and it sucks, but they clearly mismanaged, exceptionally sensitive material So don't mess with Nintendo.
Wow, that's so
At all.
intense.
It really is. It really is. And
It's sad to see, but like, come on.
yeah,
Like,
it's
leak this stuff. Come on. Even me, I'm a Pokemon fan. Like, I
but
don't
it's
want
one
to see
employee. It's hard. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem. It's one employee that blew it for the whole company, and yeah, they fire the employee, but the damage is done at that point. It's like what can you possibly do? It stinks. All right, February online competition. This is the way you can get your Ball Guy avatar shirt, and I'm more excited about this than anything else. But today is the 23rd, and you have to register by the 27th. So hopefully I'll get this podcast out in time that you guys will get a little bit of a heads up. But all you need to do is register for the event. The event starts on the 27th. You just got to do one battle, and you get your avatar shirt. And who doesn't love Ball Guy? I love Ball Guy. But I'll put a link in the description for how this is going to work. Doubles format. They're allowing certain Gmax Pokemon. This will earn you points for Worlds qualification. But again, get that Ball Guy shirt. All right, Adam. Moving on here, Pokemon Go PvP. How has this been for you with Go Battle League? This is Pokemon Go's official in-game PvP system. Have you been playing? What do you think about it? We're about to rotate to the Master League right now. Tomorrow, actually, from the day of this recording, we'll rotate over to Master League. Like, what do you think of all this?
So, Great League, I already had Pokemon spec'd out and set up for that. And that's kind of like when I'm hunting. Those are what I'm searching for, is those specific IVs. For Ultra League, I was not prepared at all.
Me neither.
So I've literally I honestly have just kind of stopped playing. It does nothing for me because I know I'm going to lose.
Yep.
I've powered up a Giratina. I've powered up my Gengar that I think is like good. And I already had a Zapdos that's up there. So I just use those three and I keep getting crushed. I'm more excited for Master League because I can, mess around with all the 100% that I have that are maxed out and just have fun with it and like know that I'm using the strongest Pokemon of that type. I'm using my Yanmega. It's got 3 attacks, and if you're Ghost or like, you're Psychic or whatever, you're gonna get attacked by my bug attacks. I don't know. I'm excited for Master League though. I really am.
Master League is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be weird because it's going to favor the level 40 players because you're going to want to have these Pokemon powered up all the way. So if you're not level 40, right out of the gate, you're going to be at a disadvantage. And 2, it's going to favor people that have been playing the game for a while that have had access to specific legendaries that were timed. So it'll be interesting to see how it rolls out. I think that Great and Ultra were definitely a little bit more accessible as far as the Pokemon are concerned. Master League's going to be a little bit more expensive to get the Pokemon to the state they need to be in to be competitive on the grand scale. But all in all, there's a lot of people that are interested in Pokemon Go PvP right now. So it's a good time for that, that culture because people are getting involved and people are playing and interacting with Pokemon Go in different ways. Like now, all those raiders, the people that were raiding like crazy for years, now can have something else to do with those raid-ready Pokemon. Those 100% that they've powered up to use in raids, they can now use them in Master League, Go Battle League, which is cool.
Exactly.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, got a couple other things to cover, little tidbits, and then we'll do our watch along. But I figure we'll split the show here. And then we'll close out the show with our watch along. You ready to take a little breaky break?
Let's take a nap.
No naps. No, I'll never wake back up. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll run through the rest of the news and do our watch along. We'll be back right after this. And we are back from our break. Thank you guys so much for that. A little bit of housekeeping before we close the show. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
It sure is.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to everyone that's supporting us on Patreon. We do have our executive producer spot still open. We would love someone to fill that void for us. We greatly appreciate all your support. But if Patreon isn't your thing, there's still a couple other ways you can help us out. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And if you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, you can take a moment to leave us a review. Adam, have you opened Pokemon Masters? You got to.
I opened it once, and I forgot to get Professor Oak because I just started clicking a bunch of things, and then I got a call, and I'm like, okay, I forgot about it.
So, about a week ago, they released this trailer teasing Professor Oak, and it was so well done. I got so fired up. I'm like, I'm going to play the game. I'm going to play. I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to do it. And then Professor Oak came out. And I logged in, got my bonus, I got Professor Oak, and I haven't really played the game. So it's like I have him. He's in my, he's a registered sync pair in my game, but I just haven't played because my teams are all over the place. The levels of my sync pairs are all over the place. I haven't really grasped the concept of how to balance a team properly. Like, getting Professor Oak at level 1 as a 3-star sync pair and having to go back and do older story missions in order to level him up, it's super grindy. And, the people that I hear that are, have been playing Masters say, oh, this is much less of a grind than it was for, the Rayquaza quest or even the Mewtwo quest. Like, this is way easier. But it still seemed weird to me, and maybe I'm just missing something, but the story, I did like the actual story of Oak was awesome, and how they introduce Mew and how, they make Mew this very, very curious and playful Pokemon, and the way they animate it looks amazing. So that's really where Pokemon Masters shines, is with the story, and they do a good job there, but the gameplay, I don't know. You know what I gotta do? I gotta watch some videos. I gotta watch some videos and see people doing it in action, so I can see if I'm doing things right or wrong, because I want to like it. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, it's like I'm still rocking Delibird, because that's me, and that's like the only reason I'm like.
But that's one of the reasons of the game. They want you to be able to find a trainer and a Pokemon that you connect with. That's what. That's what makes it unique. So I'm glad that there's a Pokemon, I'm glad that there's a trainer with Delibird, because then you have, you have something to lean on, it's cool. Today is actually the last day of the 2020 Oceania International Championships. So we'll talk about this more in detail next episode once we have, the full event wrap up. But there was one thing that was super exciting on stream yesterday it just made me smile like ear to ear. So VGC Juniors. This is something that typically I would not be interested in and I wouldn't watch for whatever reason. But Simone Lim, she's 7 years old, right? She makes it to the finals. She's got very, very limited experience. She was top 4 in Malaysia regionals and top 4 in the Singapore special event. That's it. Going against Justin Miranda Radbourd, who was last year in the top 8 of Worlds. He was last year's Oceania International Champion. He's won 21 regional tournaments and 4 international championships. So
somebody
highly decorated. Highly decorated, right? So Simone, and she's 7 years old. She looks like she weighs 30 pounds. She's like the cutest little thing ever. She has this giant Eevee plush that's bigger than her that's sitting on the table with her. Does this amazing, amazing play and read in the finals. She's down to one Pokemon. She's got a Tyranitar on the field. And she's up against a Dusclops and Rhyperior. And the play is, who is she going to attack? How is she going to be able to manage this 2-on-1? So she reads that Rhyperior is going to use Protect and ends up going after the weaker Dusclops, knocking out the Dusclops, getting the read on the Protect, and then ends up using Superpower, letting her have priority, and knocks out the Tyranitar at the beginning of the next round and takes the whole thing and wins the championships. It's the greatest thing ever, dude.
It was so fantastic.
She's so cute. She's so cute. It's ridiculous. It makes me sick how cute she is. But it's very, very exciting. And I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've just never really watched juniors, even in the TCG. But this was very exciting just because she's so small. It just looks hilarious. Like, they're interviewing her, and the guy with the mic actually had to like bend down and like hold the mic down, like, because she's so small, and she's holding this giant Eevee plushie, like looks like a Build-A-Bear Eevee. It's just massive, so cute. But I'll put links in the description so you guys can watch the highlight. Very, very, very cool. Adam, did you watch Twilight Wings episode 2?
Yes.
What'd you think?
I was a little disappointed because it really didn't like pick up where it left off. Because Chairman was just, he left like on the Corviknight, and then it like cuts to
B
or what? Yeah, and it just, she's just in it now. Like, it was so weird. I'm just like, are you sure?
I kind of felt that too.
I wasn't sure I was watching the right thing. I honestly was like, wait a minute.
Where are the kids in the hospital?
Like, upload on this one, and it's supposed to be the one before that.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, actually. What happened to the kids in the hospital? Like, you don't even really see that. Yeah, it like just kind of took a little bit of a sidewinder. Like,
yeah, so I was totally like not ready. It took me probably 3 or 4 minutes in for me to like get over that.
And it's only like 6.5 minutes long.
Exactly. That's the whole point. It was fantastic. It gave you some feels, which is always nice. Yeah. I feel like they try to fit so much into such a small amount of time, and it's like they do a good job letting you know like what the character's feeling.
I almost wish it was like a 15-minute episode.
I don't know. It's just like there's just so much that like I wish there was a little bit more touched on. Like they kind of get stuck in the cave, and her and like the Machamp and Machoke, and it's like she falls, and then the cave starts glowing, and I'm like, man, a Sableye would be so cool to see right now. and they didn't even put a Sableye.
The episode is called Training, and it follows B with her Machop line doing some fighting training, which is really cool. But yeah, they get stuck in a cave. The cave like collapses in on them, and all of a sudden B gets like super strength. It has a very traditional like anime feel when it comes to how they deliver the story of this very triumphant story of building up how strong the character could be. No pun intended there. I don't know. I think that like you said, they're just putting too much in such a short amount of time that it's just hard for them to flesh out the story with only 6 minutes. It's tough. Like, I don't know. I feel like 10 minutes would have even been better.
Like next episode, watch us see, I don't know, let's just see like a train station, and then them just like chilling out on the train, just talking. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think they're going to have to call back to the kids from episode 1. Maybe not. Maybe that was just, that whole thing with the kids was just a way to set up the chairman as this hero in the people's eye. Who knows? I don't know where they're going with it. It's very interesting, because is this going to be about Leon? Is this going to be about the chairman? Is this going to be about B? Is it about those kids? I have so many questions.
Right.
I have so many questions.
There's not enough episodes out yet for us to get the answers.
All right, well, let's do our watch along here, Adam. The Crystal Onix, and you actually brought something to my attention just before, which is pretty exciting. We didn't talk TCG today, but you had shared a link, and I'll put it in the description, of a really awesome custom Crystal Onix card.
Yeah, it's by Inferno Games. He's got fan made cards, and it's a Crystal Onix in the arts, like in the card style of a Skyridge Hollow.
Right.
And it looks absolutely stunning. When I saw this, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we just watched this episode."
You're the one who's gotten me into the custom card scene, and I like how, I like when cards are painted. I like when they extend the art, but when they play with like layering hollow stuff on them, that's like a whole nother ball game, and it's really cool the way that this artist did that. So it's very, very cool. I'll put a link in the description if you want to pick one of these cards up. Really cool and fits the episode today. But we're going to be watching episode 85, The Crystal Onix. This info coming from Bulbapedia.net. Original air date, March 1st, 1999, as episode 87, but is currently episode 85 in the Amazon lineup. This is Adventures in the Orange Island, episode 33, and it's called The Crystal Onix. So, Adam, if you're ready to go, let's get this thing fired up.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll do this in 3, 2, 1, go.
So you wanna be a master of Pokémon? Do you have the skills to be #1? I wanna take the ultimate step, find the courage to be bold, to risk it all and not forget the lessons that I hold. I wanna go where no one's been, far beyond the crowd. Yeah, learn the way to take command.
So, this was an exciting episode. I'm very excited to talk about it because last episode there was, differences in the animation style, differences in some of the music, and I'm definitely excited to see how that carries into this.
Well, I'm just excited because we get to see a shiny variant. Just kidding. We get to see a variant of an Onix.
I was gonna say but is it? It's not a shiny. It's like Butterfree.
It's a shiny before shinies existed. Okay, let's be honest.
I saw something that in the new Sword and Shield anime, they actually have a shiny hunter. They show his dex and it's filled with shiny Pokemon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool.
That's exciting.
Once again, we find our heroes sailing through.
So once again, we're riding on Lapras.
Again, and they still don't have food.
Yeah, they never ate last episode, right?
Right.
They went to the island specifically to eat. They never ate.
Hey, what's that?
They were full on adrenaline. It's a message in a bottle, baby.
Is it food? Can you eat it?
Oh, there's paper inside. There's a $10 bill in there.
Lapras is the most well-behaved and loyal Pokemon ever already.
Must have thrown it in the ocean.
It's a coupon
See what it says.
for one
Free meal.
If you know anything about a Pokemon called the Crystal Onix, let me know right away. And it's
So,
signed Marissa from
they
Sunrise.
call out Crystal Onix like right away.
The
So
Crystal
obviously they're
Onix.
not hiding anything in the episode. Obviously it's the title, but
Glass crystal.
Is it
there we go.
real?
So now the story comes out.
But there are
A
people
glass
saying
crystal
they've seen it.
Onyx.
I'd sure like
That's
to
Like
see
unique.
what?
It's a one-off.
it. Wouldn't you?
Is there like
Lapras is like, yeah.
so? Is there just like normal rock, like onyxes? Is there granite onyx? Is there an onyx? Onyx?
No, it's just one. Imagine. Oh, that would be cool.
That would be sick.
Onyx.
We gotta trademark that quick. No.
Sunburst Island's famous for having all kinds of crystal and glass shops.
Yeah, they got crystal and glass, but do they have food? These children haven't eaten in weeks.
Glass right on
No, it looks like they're in a town right now with all glass blowers,
Cool.
and it's like everything is glass.
Wow, everything looks so shiny.
And glistening. It looks like a dishwasher dishwasher detergent commercial.
Don't break it, Pikachu. You'll have to pay for it.
Immediately comes in with a you break it, you buy it policy.
But like, do you see even the animation? Like, it's still carrying over from the last episode. Like, the expressions seem a little bit more characterized. You gotta remember when they left for like the whole blimp thing. That was really the start of the Adventures in Orange Island's arc. Even though, episodes 53 through 81 or whatever were that weird limbo period.
No, we don't know her.
So that's why
Yeah.
the stuff
And
looks a
then
little
here's this guy.
different.
And here's this guy yelling at this little girl like, you should close up shop. Like, what is she? Probably like 5.
She's
okay?
she's so sad.
You don't run this shop all by yourself, do you?
Mm-mm. My big brother Mateo helps me out a lot.
Yeah, do you run the shop alone?
That
No.
sounds nice.
My
Except
brother
now he feels
helps
real
me.
bad and doesn't
Yeah,
want to
he's
eat
4.
for me.
Why don't you tell
I'm
us
the
your
oldest
name?
sibling.
My name's Marissa. Well then, you
Oh.
must be.
What did he do?
The
I
one
was
who
gonna
wrote
say, what did he
this.
do with the glass
I knew
bottle?
somebody danced
Yeah,
around that
it's
night.
like the
You have to tell
the
me
odds
about
of
the song.
them
Please
walking
tell me,
into
please.
an entire city and meeting the person that left the note in the bottle that they happened to find in the water. I love cartoons.
Oh, I thought for sure you found
Hey,
it.
timing is everything.
Are you sure there's really such a thing as a crystal onyx? Sure there is.
Is
So
there
you
such
think-
thing?
Maybe we should
Well,
all
it's
have
like
a little talk with your
they're
brother
coming
about
from
this.
the crystal capital of the world here, like with glass and everything's
Marissa,
made of glass
have you
and
been
crystal.
bothering
It's like
these
you
people?
think there would have been
She's
some
not
Pokemon
bothering
hunters
us.
finding this
Yes,
thing
she
already.
was.
Right?
Not at
In this,
all.
the guy's hair, her brother, it actually
All
looks
the
like
other
that
glass stores have tons of stuff, but
silhouetted
yours is
Pokemon.
practically empty. How come?
Like Wolverine.
Well, you see,
Yeah,
It does. Oh my god, it does.
It was full of glass.
called it.
Big
It's this
success.
guy, just really angry.
With some gloves on, with some claws.
Glass Pokemon sculptures.
No, it's
Look, his
glass
dad's
blown.
got it. His dad has the same haircut.
Yep.
I
It's
tried
he's
my
got
best
glass
to
blown,
follow
glass
his
blown like
footsteps.
bracelets on,
But I just can't make anything good enough to sell.
and
in
then
the
he's got
store.
his hands. He just put glass blown tips on them.
But these are great.
They look great.
Mateo?
They all look just like the real Pokemon.
They sure
I
look good
want
enough to
one of
me.
those collectibles.
Maybe.
Right?
But not to me.
And he's like,
Compared to Grandpa's, they're
Smash!
I know. He's like,
What
it's
a
like, dude.
waste.
Pikachu.
Everyone
so
gets
bad,
scared. I would be
Mateo.
scared too.
They
It's
don't
like,
have
dude,
that
why are you breaking your
soul, that
stuff?
Sparkle, that
Look how awesome that
fire.
Pidgey
They
is.
Look like statues. Grandpa's Pokemon
I don't
look
know.
Like they might come
I would
alive
love to
at
have
any
that.
second. If I could just find some kind of inspiration.
What do you mean
I want
by
that Geodude on a little
Well,
stand.
let me give you this website.
An
There's
idea
lots
or a
of
feeling
random
artists
art
need to
all
get.
over it.
Yeah, go to
and I'll inspire you.
It sure sounds important.
start an Etsy store, dude.
I know I could create sculptures like my grandfather.
Right? We already have
Just
2
happen to
customers
be
right here.
Crystal Onyx.
Huh?
Grandpa used to tell me that when
I
he
mean,
was a
they
young
already have
artist,
Skype,
He saw the
you know?
crystal onyx, and that's what inspired him.
You mean he saw
They
it
just need to
for
get to a
real?
Pokemon Center to use it.
Yeah, it was the most
So
amazing
now
thing
that
he'd
the
ever
storyline
seen.
starts to develop here of why he's like, why his family got into this in the beginning was because his grandfather saw the Crystal Onyx. That inspired him. And now they're kind of telling the story of how his grandpa, saw the behold the power of Crystal Onyx. Don't throw a rock at it.
For the rest of his life, Grandpa turned
It's
out
like, is
one
Crystal
great
Onyx
sculpture
fragile?
after another.
Fragile.
Wow, that's a pretty amazing story.
Wow, that's a pretty amazing story. It's pretty.
Take a look at this.
All right.
So there's this like triumphant
That's
Crystal
my
Onyx
grandpa's
sculpture he
of the
made,
crystal onyx he saw.
but it's only like a foot tall.
Grandpa used to say
And the
that
best is that
whenever
their
he needed
reaction
some
at first was like
inspiration,
super
all
afraid
I know,
of
it looks
was think of
huge.
that
Yeah, and they
crystal
panned out
onyx.
and made it
I've
look
looked
like
for
it was this
all over
giant
the island,
sculpture,
hoping it
and then
might
they're
give
looking
me
at it and
just
it's
the
tiny.
inspiration that I need. But
I
haven't
can't stop
found
looking
it
at his hair now and
anywhere.
thinking
So
of that.
that's the reason you
unreleased
like that
mythical
crystal onyx
Pokemon.
So much, isn't it, Marissa?
Right.
This episode, I'm
What do
telling
say
you,
we stay
timing's
here and
everything.
help 'em look for it, guys?
Let's do
Right,
it.
it's right
After all,
before
it's
we
not
get to see this new
polite to let a letter from a
Pokemon.
little
His
girl
hair
go
looks exactly
unanswered.
like it. I found that card on the internet. I was
Thank you
like,
very
man,
much.
all these things coming together.
Let's make shopping easy. We can avoid the checkout lines if we pick out what
So
we want. and
why
come
is
back
Team
later and
Rocket
steal
even
it.
here?
This plate is fit for a king.
And they want
Why?
glasses and plates. Look at James
I
is
know,
literally
but-
licking it.
Ew, that's weird. He is.
Oh gosh. And then Meow scares
You break
them,
it, you buy it.
and they break.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
we got a rule
We
around
got a
here.
rule
You
around
break
here.
it,
You break
boy.
it, you buy it. Oh,
See, like,
little cutscene.
That was great. I think that was like the first time they ever did it. It reminded me of like Batman, like the Adam West Batman, like like that bat signal.
We have to pay him, and we don't have a cent.
So we gotta work.
They gotta work it off, yo.
I just heard that Mateo and a bunch of kids just.
What is that logo on their apron?
He still believes that story.
It's the Glass Blowers Guild.
Yeah, I mean, who'd believe there's an
It's a
Onix
secret society of glass blowers.
Did you hear that?
Oh, and of course they hear rare Pokemon, and they're. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking we find that Onix pronto.
They're gonna go find the Onix.
I want the
more
Onix.
Somewhere on this island, huh?
But where do we start to look?
Why does he have the crystal Onix on him? The sculpture for reference?
Well, yeah, this
just
is
so
the
we know
best.
what we're looking for. See?
This is probably my favorite scene in the whole thing. Venonat spots the exact sculpture in rock. Only it's not even an Onix.
But
It's
it
just a
was
pile of
almost
rocks.
like a hound, like a police, like, here, smell this shirt, go find the thief. You know, it's like, here's the crystal Onix, go find this shape somewhere in nature.
And then Tracy basically, it's like, instead of you guys, you know, saying I can't do anything or that his skills are weak, let's just put him away. Oh.
So
And
this
let's
was
bring
this
out
was a big
Meryl.
deal here too, though, because this was, you know, besides Togepi, this was like the first introduction of another Gen 2 Pokemon.
Its sensitive ears can detect distant sounds, and
The water mouse. Oh, it's Pikachu.
It's the Gen 2 Pikachu.
Can help us?
Sure, lots of times.
Pikablue. Remember? Yeah, Pikablue, right? That's what people were calling it back in the day.
Must make
Yep.
a good team.
Peekaboo.
You watch and Meryl listens.
I totally forgot about that. I forgot.
Yeah, I know. Me
Meryl
too.
was,
I just thought of it right now. Like,
Now that's what Onix sounds like. Try to hear one.
My favorite is that he says that's what sound a crystal Onix makes. How do you know the difference, dude? How do you know the difference?
the same way we know what dinosaurs sound like.
Do we though?
No one's ever heard a dinosaur. It's Pikachu.
It's Muck. It's Grimer. Oh no, it's Rhyhorn.
It's
It's
Rhyhorn
Rhyhorn Community
Day.
Day. Jinx. No. It's just Rhyhorn. And now I'm still looking for Moses. He's got to be in here somewhere. Keep an eye peeled because I've watched this like 7 times trying to find him.
Meryl's got the power, yo.
Nope, it's Moses.
So
Parts the sea.
like literally parts the sea, like one little Meryl. Come on.
It's like a path across the water.
Jeez, they're showing how powerful he is. Like, it's just moved the entire ocean. Like, what?
Yeah, it's not even like a lake or a river. Like that's the ocean.
Really low, you can see that it's one
And
big
the best part
island.
is when he spreads the ocean, there's just like a starfish. Not a star me, not a star you, a starfish.
Yeah, it's starfish.
What should we
Misty.
do?
They all fall into the hole, but Misty's got Togepi held up.
Should prepare for trouble.
You don't want to crack the egg, man.
Don't want to crack the egg.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite
And
our
the
peoples
motto.
within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
It's like an acrobatics.
Team Rocket blasts
Give me an R.
Dude, James is the best. He's
Give
not
me
a
an
care.
R.
He's the best character in the entire series.
Give me a C, K, E, T. What does that spell?
Why don't you
Team
just pretend
Rocket.
you're a tree and leave?
Ooh, funny. Who told you that one?
You
Professor
tell him,
Oak?
Misty.
We know what you kids are looking for.
We figured you'd show up looking
So
for
there
that
was
crystal Onix
some
sooner or
artwork going
later.
around on
So we set a
Deviant
trap
Art.
or two just for
Not that
you.
kind of
Well,
artwork,
we'll
but
grab that
it was
crystal
someone did like a reimagining of a new anime featuring Ash and Serena as adults. Did you see the art?
I did not see that.
Oh, it's so good. It like looks. It's totally fake, but you know, someone created Ash and Serena as adults with 2 kids. I'll send you the link. I'll put it in the description too because it's so cool. I wish it was real. don't know what just made me think of that.
Yeah, send it to me because I want to see that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you though. It's great though. Actually, Adrock put it on our Discord, so it's in the Discord in the anime channel.
All right, I'll find
Look
it.
at James.
How did this happen to you guys?
Well, we were setting all these traps to catch you, little twerps.
And somehow we got caught in them ourselves.
Typical Team Rocket.
Yeah, I was gonna say somehow. It happens every episode, dude.
Never mind about that now. Just get us out of these traps and we'll let you help us find
It's like all the classic Team Rocket apps or traps too. It's like the hole, the cage, and the sling trap. You know, from the hang from the tree, like all the stereotypical Team Rocket traps, shenanigan booby traps.
Okay, fine, you win.
And like,
Just
Neil
leave
could
them.
like sit up and scratch that, you know. And Jesse could just turn sideways and squeeze through. And
You gotta
James could just let
suspend
himself
belief, man. It's cartoon. All I'm saying
like,
is Crystal
what are
Onyx
these
is definitely
crystals?
in there.
Are these like diamonds or are these like, you know what I mean?
How
like
come no one has
crystals?
ever seen them before?
So is it the amethyst onyx? Is it the aquamarine onyx? Is it the blue topaz
Meryl's
onyx?
tail floats so you can see where it's going.
I love that. How
I
cute
have
this
so
is.
many
like,
questions.
on when Meryl swims, its tail like ball on its tail stays afloat. Meryl's like, yeah, Crystal Onyx right there. I did it.
I think I see
100
it.
years of not knowing where Crystal Onyx is. They find it in 1 minute.
Onyx is weak to water, guys.
Not Crystal Onyx.
Nope, not Crystal
Wasn't there?
Onyx. He lives
Wasn't
in the
there some
water.
other? I think there was some other episode too where there was water with Onyx. I don't know.
The Crystal Onyx.
But Crystal Onyx doesn't count.
Its whole body.
It's Crystal Onyx, no kidding.
It
But they
does
can't
look
see
cool.
through it though, which I wish they could. Even though when it was
I
in the
came
water,
prepared with
they
just the
depicted it
Pokemon
as
to
if it
battle
could
that
see
Onyx.
through it.
Don't be scared, Marissa.
What are you using?
Cloyster, I choose you.
It's like, I got skills, watch out. Oh, it's Cloyster.
Onyx is weak against
Cloyster.
water attacks.
And he
Cloyster,
knows,
use your
Cloyster,
water
use
gun.
water gun.
Yeah,
He knows that Onyx is weak to water.
What's wrong?
Just does nothing.
Cloyster, try rapid fire now.
Onyx is like,
Those water attacks don't seem to have any effect on the crystal.
Tracy's trying to draw. Wolverine hair's getting mad. Oh, see, man, the animations are so rad.
Cloyster.
Cloyster got wrecked.
Down here. I'm down here. That crystal onyx belongs to Team Rocket.
Panda. I was like, it's almost like a fourth wall break.
right?
It's a secret you will never know.
The writers can't figure it out either.
Just think of all the beautiful junk we can make with that crystal.
The world's longest crystal necklace.
So, it's like, are they
Jesse's got
concerned about
Crystal
Crystal Onyx or the crystals poking out of the entire like cave?
Crystal charm.
I really like Meowth's idea
Yeah, it's cool.
with a crystal coin.
What makes me think we're going to blow it?
All right, Arbok, let's get to work.
Victory bell!
Boo.
We should have sent out Weezing.
Let go of me, will you? Don't attack
Because Victory Bell just eats him.
Come on, let's get rid of him, Pikachu.
You can't go wrong with Pikachu. And I like how Misty
Or
gets involved
Staryu.
too. Here's my water Pokemon, but it's gonna do a physical attack.
And Pikachu just touches him with the tail.
See, where's Brock when you need him?
Right?
I would
He'd be
like to see like
I'll just give
actual
it some
Onix
Pokemon
versus
food.
Crystal.
He'd be like, I'll just give you some Pokemon food real quick, and all of a sudden we're best friends.
I know how to battle you, Onyx, but now I see I'm going to need a little help from my glass-making partner.
Yes.
This is cool.
His glass-making partner?
Charmeleon.
Charmeleon, go!
I guess if I was like a glass blower, I would definitely want a fire Pokemon.
What's that?
That's Onyx's rock throw.
I wonder if the rock throw from Crystal Onix, like, are those like gems? Like, can you sell those crystals?
Oh, I'm sure.
I would just be like,
look at the crystals behind Misty.
I know, but those would look like natural crystals.
Flamethrower attack is making the Crystal Onix super hot.
All right, Ember attack now.
The best is that he's using like flamethrower on Crystal Onix. It's heating up, but he can just dive back in the water.
But it's weak to water.
No. This one's unaffected by water.
Oh, dude, it looks so cool.
Oh, it's Sableye.
it's Venonat's eye. So this is like this deep scene here of, it's almost like he's imprinting on Crystal Onix. It's like he
needs to catch him.
No, he doesn't. It's like we're
Onix is
we cool. We good.
Dead.
So it makes you
I
think.
just don't understand why you wouldn't like catch it.
I don't have
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's the thing, because he like imprinted on him. He's like, I don't need to capture it. I've already.
It's hard to describe.
It's hard to describe.
Inspiration I need to start working again.
So
yeah, but if Team Rocket came back,
But it makes you think, like, has this happened to other people? Have other people had the same interaction with Crystal Onix?
Thank you for that inspiration.
And maybe that's why it was never captured.
probably not.
You know, did this happen to his grandfather, maybe?
Maybe.
That's great.
But
Keep
no,
up
back.
with it,
back
Yeah,
at
I
it
know,
again.
he's back at it with
This is why they
Charmeleon.
called Charmeleon his glass-making partner.
How much you think
Almost
Charmeleon gets
done,
paid an
and I
hour?
think I'm gonna
2
like this
Poke
one.
Puffs.
You can't rush genius.
He gets 50% off on all the glass he helps blow.
Thanks again.
Can these kids eat, please? It's like,
These kids need to eat.
before I leave your shop, I'll trade you this crystal for some hamburgers.
Wow, it almost looks like
It's
it's
so
alive.
cool.
And see, when they first were walking away, I was like, oh man, he didn't get any glass Pokemon. Come
Yeah,
on.
from
And then
now
like
on, I'm sure their
he's
source will
walking
be a
with it in
big
his hand.
success.
Yeah, and they deserve
And
it.
don't sit on it, Ash. Break it.
It's time for our heroes to move on.
It's time for them to move on to a restaurant. They need to eat, these poor children.
Will sparkle in their
They need a
memories
sparkle
forever.
or sprinkle of flavor, not a sparkle in memories forever.
Don't go
So,
away. Pikachu,
Again,
Fox,
we haven't seen this kind of episode in a while where it just seems like the episode is there, and if it wasn't in the sequence, it really wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, this, it just...
Yeah, but it's an important episode.
Why, though? Because it has a unique Pokemon?
And Meryl.
And Meryl, yeah. But for the storyline, though, it has nothing to do with the GS Ball. It has nothing to do with the Orange League. Like, it was a total Sidewinder.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. But it's cool because of those two reasons. But, you know, you get excited for the Orange League. They hype it up so hard in the last episodes, you know, and it's like, then they don't even bring it up at all in this episode. So to make myself feel better, I'm going to open a pack. I have one too. You have Sword and Shield?
I have Sword and Shield.
I have a green code card.
I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead.
All right. I've got a Water Energy, Metal Saucer, Quick Ball, yes, Mantine, Choodle, Rhyhorn, Rookity, Krabby, Grookey. My reverse hollow is a Salandit, and my rare is a Ninetales. I mean, I got a Quick Ball,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
good.
definitely worth it.
All right.
Because I got like 2 Quick Balls out of an entire box, so.
All right, let's see what I got here. Steel Energy, Rare Candy, Lumberry, Corvisquire, Roselia, Ghastly, Pawniard, Sizzlepede, Yamper. My reverse is a Ball Toy, and my rare is a non-hollow Poltergeist. I got that last episode.
Oh,
Jeez.
that is literally the worst. That is the worst.
I pulled it out of
It
the
has
last
60 hit
pack.
points. It's not even good.
Boy. All right, Adam. Well, we did it. We did it.
We did it. Yeah, we did it.
All right, everyone. We're going to wrap up the show. Thanks so much for checking us out. If you wanted to reach out to us, you can. info@gottawatchemall.com. Check out gottawatchemall.com to get all of our episodes, to catch up with everything on the show. PokemonProfessor.com for everything on our with the network. And make sure you connect with us on social media. We'd love to hear from you. Pretty much just go to PokemonProfessor.com and get our links there. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, in the next episode of Special Conditions, we'll talk about the NCIC.
The National... I'm trying to think of NCIS.
The Australian one.
The Oceania. Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of like Law and Order.
Oceania.
Like one of those
shows.
The
Oceania.
International Championships. I haven't watched much, but actually the Quickball will come into... I'm sure Quickball will come into play with your conversation. I don't know if you saw Tord Recklev's tweet. But there's some interesting stuff that went down. But I'm sure you'll cover that on Special Conditions. But remember, everyone, if you can't be out there catching them all, hang out with us and watch them all. We'll see you next week.